And that's a celebration. Good to be here with you. And first my child, not just like that. I'm happy that I'm with you. And first my child, no, that's a fact. I'm always tuned in. Here we go again. You play sweet music. Oh, I respect you much, you see. I'm subscribing while you're vibing by. Oh, screaming like how you be. This cutie, she's not moody, no way. Consistency, that's your way. So help me say, Embrace all the way. So good to be here with you. Embrace my child, you're not just like that. I'm happy that I'm with you. Embrace my child, yo, that's a fact. I'm always tuned in. Here we go again.
Star 106 hits a pleasant Thursday. Good afternoon to each and all. Time for another featured Thursday. Brought to you courtesy of Kalik, the beer of the Bahamas. I got to say thank you to Pinder Tile, City of Hope, formerly Cancer Treatment Centers of America. Thank you to the Cleveland Clinic. And of course, thank you to KFC. All right. And of course, it's good to be in your company. It's a little wet on the outside. Please, if you're moving around town, do proceed with caution and care. And please be mindful of persons that are taking taxi 11. All right. Please don't just speed through those, those puddles and wet people up. All right. Good afternoon to everybody locked and loaded. We are 106.5 on the FM band. Thank you to everybody tuned in channel 976 on cable. And then, of course, the Facebook faithful Star 106 and Natural Empress. All right. So on Thursdays, we always celebrate our very own. For the most part, the music industry, but I'm going to start exploring some other avenues, the arts, anything that pertains to culture, we will definitely be looking into. But for the most part, it's all about the music. The music is a big part of the culture. And as we continue to celebrate us beyond our independence, this is how we do it. Now, we've had, and we still do, because there's some really great talent coming out of the woodwork, but we've had some, we have some great artists that have paved the way for these newcomers. We've got some great representations of the country. When these artists, hit the road all over the world, they represent the Bahamas in such a wonderful way. One thing stands to be true: as Bahamians, we love our music, we love these artists. I think we need to show them more love for the most part, and give them what's due to them, especially those that have definitely paid their dues. All right. And you know what's so funny about it is that a lot of the artists today, when I started to call, I was talking to a few of them for certain reasons, and I found that I couldn't find one artist who did not have uh a day job, who well, I should say they all. I couldn't find one who basically works for themselves. They're very, very few. And the one that I want to highlight this evening is, of course, the one KB. All right. And I want to also highlight the likes of DMAC. And what I want to do for the first time, and I think mentally, and I think in intellectually, we are grown enough to realize that what I'm about to do is not a competition as such, but more of a celebration of these artists. And I want to do somewhat of a versus. All right. Again, not a competition. I think we should be able to celebrate them both equally and highlight their strong points, and pretty much see if we can say that we have some artists that have some great catalog, have a very vast discography, all right, and are able to hold their own. Obviously, they have, because they've made a name, they're household names, they're now international names. And I just want to go song for song, hit for hit, and show you the strength of our artists. All right. So today's versus, first time ever on a featured Thursday, it's KB versus D Mac. All right. Stick around for it. It's coming your way in just a few. Free your mind right here on your hit station. We're Star 106. We're going to do a quick break. Be right back.
Afternoon, my first look at traffic. You can tell
All right.
weather having its way with the activity that's happening in the streets. Traffic on Wolf Road from the west end, Poinciana Drive, all the way to the east end, very busy. You've got slow moving traffic in both directions that builds up near bumper to bumper in some spots. But obviously, with the condition of the streets and the type of weather we've got now, it's making it a little bit challenging for moving about. So drivers are being cautious, and there's nothing wrong with that. So we're having heavy delays in some areas along West Bay Street. It's a bumper to bumper thing on the eastbound lane going into the downtown area. And as you're leaving the downtown area along West Bay Street, while traffic hasn't built up as yet, it is slow moving past the Arrow Key area and continuing on. So it's not a heavy congestion as yet, but you will encounter some difficulties or slow moving traffic along the way. Overall, we still got a relatively light level of traffic movement period anyway, but what's in the street is slow moving and taking the time due to what's going on. Traffic in the south on both East Street and Blue Hill Road, encountering a bit of minor slowness. And so crossing over Soldier Road, it gets a little busy in there on East Street, and passing the Blue Hill Road and Carmichael Road intersection, it gets a little busy in there as well. And so while that is a fact, it's not that we're seeing any real serious congestions island-wide, but where there is some challenges going on, it's due mostly to slow traffic movement in the area. This is not such traffic report, and it's service.
Hey, Shavanda.
Insurance agency and brokers giving you peace of mind in the Bahamas for over 100 years. You're able to call 397-2100. That's
Howard Thou.
004 info about this service. Here's your first look at traffic this afternoon at the AAA.
Then has a new line, the Sky series of porcelain. Comes in 4 colors: Sky Noir, Sky Gris, Sky Glance, and this one, Sky Zero. As the name suggests, you would think it has a strong blue component, but the blue is kind of like just a hint in the overall coloring of porcelain. The blue feature runs more or less the center of the tile, and that's surrounded by light shades of gray. The Sky Zero, like the others in the series, needs to be seen to be appreciated. Stop by Pender Thailand and have a look at Sky Azure, one of the 4 in the Sky series.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research.
Yeah,
networks
if you can,
coast to
if you
coast,
can.
providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
Star 106 hits, the best variety of the 80s, 90s, and
Type,
now.
type. Star 106 hits, welcome back. The first versus ever on Free Your Mind. Again, I think we should be mature enough to be able to do a versus, even live. I think at some point it would be nice to do some kind of versus with our artists, like maybe a series of versus battles, not battles because battles would entail or sounds like a competition, but more of a celebration of our artists. And I want to try one today with, of course, KB and I think DMAC. I think that would be the best. If you can think of somebody else who could go up against KB other than Ronnie Butler, then hit me up. All right. But of course, you know, KB has had a career that spans several decades. He's given us so many hits over the years. We continue to dance to his music, to enjoy everything that he puts out. I don't think he's had I can't, maybe you could name one, but I don't think he's had a song that was just like, it's all right. You know what I mean? All of the music that he puts out, generally speaking, is a hit. And he's been playing music and in music from he was in his teens. Um, and here he is many moons later. Definitely, I call him personally, I call him the crown prince of Bahamian music, or I should say the godson. If Ronnie's the godfather, then he would naturally be the godson. Or if we call Ronnie the king of our music, then of course KB would be the crown prince. All right, so let's continue to celebrate artists like KB, but we're going to do a versus. I'm going to throw one song for song, and we're going to show the strengths of our artists. All right, so I guess I should go way back. If I start with KB, we got to go way back. And maybe you have your favorite song. I'm going to start with, let me see. If we go way back, it would be yikes. I mean, we could always, let's start. I got it. Let's go. Bush Mechanic it is. And you can request your favorite KB right now as we get ready for the versus against the one and only DMAC. So here's our first KB, Bush Mechanic, right here on the Star. All right, who are you saying? I can put Colin up against this. Colin.
I know it's on course. You need to tie your foot, that's it. All right, overhaul. Be there in my so much. Get your rolling right. Their heads like them getting dim. I'll push them all night. Baby, get your flat. Run over a bump. She has to do fix my tire in the air in your pump. Well, let me got some up. But I did the batch at the shop. So I put my mouth on the holder. Go she tie you up. I'm the bushman, got it. Just call me, I'll be right on it. Don't bother you, but nobody. Just call on the bushman, got it. They call me the bushman, got it. Just pay me, I'll be right on it. Just on the engine bandit. Just call on the
Bush Mechanic.
One day I get your call. or a touch her. Lady says she needs someone to come hide she up. But when I hook up, she pop up. It's not the chair. So I gonna she back and hook up to she back. I get the back on this man. Get inside the white hood. And let's pick up in a headset. The problem ain't done. But if you look a little closer, check out she here. You see she ain't had proper service. Fuck up her like this. And she push my galley. Just tell me I
Be right on it.
no bother you better panic. Just call on me push my galley. Take on me the push my galley. Just take me and be right on it. Take on me the engine bandit. Oh, me
Push mechanic.
oh, yes. Push.
Dig a ding, dig a ding, dig a ding, dig a ding.
Well, this man caught me crying, say when he got no bricks. I might get the while I can sit down. But with this bricks more than perfect. Pocket still got fight. I just think it like say long enough to what we just like. So why let I cheap break up? Do it once in a life. I don't got these bricks more than anything else. Let's get check all night.
All right, y'all give me a song. What song could go up against this? From D-Mark. Push mechanic. I wasn't hearing what you were saying. I asked you what you say. If anything, just get the total. If you don't have it, then let me send it. Push mechanic. Be right on it.
Push mechanic. Push mechanic. Push mechanic.
Push mechanic. Push mechanic. Push mechanic. Push mechanic.
Push mechanic. They call me the push mechanic. That makes me a leader. Yes, I need. Boy, they call on me push mechanic. They call me the push mechanic. Just bring me on the right. Oh, yes, I need push mechanic.
Star 106 hits, Bush Mechanic. First one up, KB. Taking you back, of course, the best of the 242. I'm telling you. And of course, like I said, our very first verses. All right. Now, what's funny about the two persons that I've selected today, they are not only just entertainers, they're also renowned producers and songwriters. And funny enough, they've written for each other. I know DMAC in particular has written for virtually everyone, even in gospel. His family, Kevin McKenzie, he has written for Christian Massive, Landlord, The Singing Prophet. He's written for so many, and of course, he's even done music and produced music for the likes of KB, Funky D, Gino D, Iris Store, Therese, Spice, Ronnie Butler, the Spank Band, the Brylanders, Nita, Spice, Avi, Stalit, Lassie Doe Boys. He's done Wilfred Solomon, Eddie Minnis, Visage, and of course, Sweet Emily. Definitely one to celebrate. And then he decided that, you know what? He's going to go to the forefront and launch his own solo career and has unleashed so many hits to date. All right. So back to back. So we had Bush Mechanic from the one and only KB. Here's the Garland. It's D-Mac up next.
Yeah, Cactus Gully. Yeah, here we go. Said she promised she gonna marry me, but she ran away. She promised she'd be faithful to me, but she scheme on me. Say she take all my money, oh yeah. She take my car, oh yeah. My virginity, oh yeah. With her mouth, oh yeah. Going crazy, oh yeah. Can't even sleep, oh yeah. Can't even eat, oh yeah. I don't want to drink, oh yeah. I said, listen to mommy.
Give me an next KB song.
Oh yeah. Take my ring, oh yeah.
Married the Garland. All right.
Married the garden. And then he married the and then he married the record scrap.
Stroke Man, maybe? Okay, go Stroke Man.
Oh yeah. Been rich. Must be rich, man. Yeah, yeah. Here we go. Then she promised she gonna marry me. Oh, yeah. Then she run away. But she promised she'd be faithful to me.
Oh, yeah.
But then I get you with Stevie. Say she
Biggest
take
box?
my
Okay.
money. Oh yeah, she take my car. Oh yeah, my virginity. Oh yeah, it's with her now. Oh yeah, I get crazy. Oh yeah, can't even sleep. Oh yeah, can't even eat. Oh yeah,
I doing verses, boy.
I should listen to mommy. Oh yeah, I should listen to papa.
Verses.
Oh yeah, mother's gal. She take my ring. Oh yeah, he
I
married
put the wrong one in.
Watch it burn with the ship now. And then he married the garden.
What's wrong?
And the devil on the end. And then he married the garden.
Now, here we go.
And then he married the
Plug in your mic.
now I got a new guy.
Real quick. Wine, 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 wine. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Ta-da. Star 106 Hits is the first versus right here on Free of Mind. That's how we do it. Something a little different. But both artists today are superstars in their own right. They're also not just great entertainers, but they both are wonderful producers and songwriters, which make it just a little bit more difficult. Because we at no point we're trying to determine who's better. It's that we're going to celebrate that we have so many to choose from. Beats just walked in on the verses,
Yeah, good
but
afternoon.
today it's KB versus D-Mac. Your first thought.
That's
Wasn't that good?
that hard one.
Yeah, but you're not choosing. You're not choosing. We're going song for song. So we just had our first KB was Lord, what was it? Bush Mechanic against Garland. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's a fair versus though? Because the only other person that could have gone up really against KB would be Ronnie. But I wanted to do this kind of realistically, that if this was ever to hit a stage, that it could happen. Right? I started it now, and I would love to see a Bahamian series of verses.
I think during the pandemic, BTC had started doing something like this.
And then
but
it died a natural death.
It didn't happen, translate to
I would
live.
want it where when it happened on social media, on it was over the internet.
That was Talk of the Dawn.
It was, but the thing is that it was a selected studio audience. I want where we get, you name your venue, and the masses come out and we hit it song for song. And my first thought would be KB against D-Mac. Am I pretty good with that?
That is such a big opening for the first one of the series that it makes me wonder, all right, so where do you go after that?
Well, no. I wouldn't do this as my first show.
Okay.
This no, for the radio,
Mhm.
I'm going hard. The first one, we're coming out the gate strong. But if I was to do it, oh Lord, I would do. You know what? I'll save that one. I'll save that. If we were to really, really really, really kick it off,
Uh-huh.
I would start. Who would you start with?
Okay. If I was, this is just on my mind.
Just
If I
on
was to
Reddit.
do it, I would do a Bahamian Rappers edition. And
Not
I would
first. No,
start.
man.
I
No,
would
no,
do.
no. You.
This
you,
is just what's on my mind, Empress.
You
I gotta
being
go.
scared. You're being
I gotta go.
scared.
What was on my mind? I would do Papa Smurf and Bahamian Tree.
Okay,
Yeah.
I feel that. That's cute.
Yeah.
Come on, dig in.
Okay.
Let's go
You
hard.
talking rake and scrape?
Yeah, let's go hard.
Boy, rake
I
and
would do.
scrape.
Who would you put Johnny Cake up against? Shine 242.
Ooh.
What you think about that? Johnny Cake
No.
and Shine 242.
No.
All right, take a break on it. I'm gonna take a quick break. All right, then you're gonna tell me your choice in the songs for DMAC and KB on today's Versus Free Your Mind featured Thursday right here on the Star.
Logical condition shouldn't.
You don't like Johnny Cake and Shine?
Yes, but you know what? To take that back, yeah, Johnny Cake and Shine, because I can't think of anyone
That's
else
what I'm saying.
I could pair with Shine.
Okay, yeah, you could put.
The only other person I would think of would be Bloody, but I feel like Bloody is such a great stage performer.
Yeah, but that's the thing. We want great. Whatever
Yeah, but
whatever makes you great, that's what you're gonna bring to the stage.
I feel like you still have to have a lot
No,
of songs.
Shavonda, no, child. Notice I ain't touched that one.
I feel like
I man ain't touched that one because I
don't-
don't think nobody could go up against Nishi. I sorry.
I don't feel like Bloody have a lot of recorded songs. Like I could think of 3 off the top of my head where I know I could put my hand on the recording, but Shine have so many. Even though he's a relative newcomer.
Hold on. So, okay, let's stick with those then who have big catalog like what I've done this afternoon. Star 106 hits. Welcome to the first Versus. And in no means, and am I trying to stir up trouble, because I think as a people we should be mature enough, like they do in the U.S. We like to pattern everything they do in the U.S. So, and they do it with such maturity. Brandy against Monica, the Isley brothers against, I don't remember who it was. You had Keith Sweat against, and they did it all in love. All right. I think that we're there. Go ahead. We're not there.
Wendy versus Patrice Morel.
Of course.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
one is a definite heavyweight. I like and when
Yeah.
I said I would kick it off, I would start off with something like that.
Mhm.
Wendy versus Patrice Morel. Shavonda said Nishi against Wendy, and I said no. Nishi could not
I feel
enter.
like they're too different. I feel
Who
like
can you put
Nishi-
Nishi up against?
I would have said Nishi could go up against Patrice.
No, sir.
Yeah, man.
No, sir.
Yeah, man.
Anybody agree? You can type it right there. If you agree with Beats that Nishi and Patrice Morel is a good match, I say no. Hit me up. Let me see. Who would you put Sweet Emily up against? Wendy? Who can you put Sweet Emily?
The thing about
Sweet
it is,
Emily could only have done this with a Therese.
I just going to say that
me and you thinking
all
alike.
the people in Sweet Emily category, they
You
either
could passed on.
either passed on or they're not doing it. You could ask Spice, but she's
She's
Yeah.
not gonna do it. What about Veronica against Sweet Emily?
Mm.
Mind you, Sweet Emily has more catalog.
yeah, Veronica. They both have an excellent stage presence.
You stop worrying about
not-
what they're gonna bring on the stage. They gotta bring their A game. All
No,
right.
when
But
I
I'm just trying to pair fairly.
When I say stage presence, right? In the Bahamas, we have a unique ability of you could be an artist that has one recorded song
And
DNA
kill everybody.
and go up there and sing 45 songs if you ain't right, and it's okay. It's fine. And I'm not saying that to be, shady or anything like that. That's just a part of our culture. We do that. We celebrate other people, and that's it's okay.
Okay, thank you, Warrior. If I want to see people dancing, I'll throw in some Sting. and some Stevie S. No, Stevie S is
No.
not a part of my
Uh-uh.
verses. Sorry.
Cancel.
Sorry. Cancel. Cancel.
But see, now this is a different guy. Now you bring in Bonds into it because if you talking
Oh,
about Sting,
we can do a battle of the bands. So you have
I would-
Shad Colley and the VIPs, right?
versus Sting,
Versus Sting. I would put those two
okay,
together,
okay.
right?
I would see the Falcons versus Visage.
You saw my face drop? Wow. Wow.
I would see that.
Wow. So are you with me on this KB and D-Mac? Did I
Yeah.
select
Yeah,
perfectly?
there's no
Do you say who?
Wendy
Patrice
and
Burrell.
Patrice. Yeah,
Okay. Sweet Emily?
Sweet
you gotta pick
Emily
one.
and Nishi.
No, that's
Yeah.
not fair.
How's that not fair?
That's not fair.
It's no one else. There's no one. Unless, I mean, I guess we can. It doesn't have to be female against female. Oh, and if that's the
should.
case, then we could say KB versus Sweet Emily.
No,
No.
unfair. Let's keep it to the same gender.
Okay.
All right. So you have to pair Sweet Emily with somebody. Who would it be? It could only be Veronica.
Yeah.
It could only be Veronica. I don't think there's anybody else. You can't say Nita. You can't
Mm-mm.
say who else from that era. You can't because it
isn't
would only be
anyone.
Therese.
Yeah.
Okay, let us pair Gino D. Gino D with who? Funky?
Motto Sip.
Yes.
That's it.
Let's do
You know
it.
what? That's who could have gone against KB or
Who?
KB and Gino. KB versus Gino
Versus
D.
D-Mac?
KB and Gino D versus D-Mark.
No, you can't. No. Stop changing and bending the rules. It's one against the other. It's
Yeah.
not two against one.
It could either be KB versus Gino D.
So
or
who is the best fit? For all of you that are on the live right now, who is the best fit to go against KB? Is it not D-Mac? Is it not D-Mac? And who would be your pick if you were to pick one to go against Gino D? Would it be Funky D?
'cause they both
easily.
have D in their name.
Yeah, Funky D
Yeah,
against
okay.
G. The Battle of the D's. Battle of the D's.
Okay.
Look at that. We even got a name for it. Let us talk about bands for a quick second. You mentioned the Falcons. I mentioned Shad Colley. But let's talk. Is there anyone that could successfully go against Bahaman?
Who could successfully go against the Bahaman
Yeah. As a party band.
as a party band.
Yeah.
You know what?
Wouldn't it be Visage?
you know what?
It would be
Visage
Visage.
is a great band,
Yes.
but I would actually put the Essence band
Against who?
against the Bahaman.
Carissa against
Yeah, I do that.
how is that?
They
Explain
would
how
have, they
you
would have
see that. No, I
we,
don't see
we'd have
that.
the schedule, well, work it out a way so that it's a little bit fair. Because the Essence band has one lead singer
Right.
and Bahaman has
Several.
several.
Right.
So it'd have to be like you can only have one at a time or something like that. You record your song selection. Where
I
if
see
you
somebody
have-
say the late great Ronnie versus the late great Tony McKay. Now I want y'all to keep it real. Like I'm
You don't
putting
know who they
this
are.
out into the
you
atmosphere
have to be
for
alive.
this to actually happen. Like I want, and listen to me, I may very well do my endeavor best to make something like this really, really happen. So I want y'all to think realistically as to who would be the best pair to pull this off, like for real, in real life.
Yeah,
I'm thinking again, like I
I
said,
locked that in.
you locked that
I
in.
locked that in.
Essence against
Essence against Bahaman.
yikes.
You got a picture in Empress. You can't
Essence against
necessarily go and say
Bahaman.
Shad calling the VIPs, or you know what? If not Bahaman versus Essence Band, then I would say Essence Band versus the name will come back to me.
Okay.
It's another Bahamian band that specializes in like R&B.
Okay, so all right, so I want you to know just a quick tidbit that the best of the best is returning in November. All right, and if I was to look at the flyer and try to pair up, I'm gonna who would you put Avi against? Ah, there you go, Avi against Johnny Cake. Same
I
kind of
would
energy.
I would actually say Avi versus Bloody.
You saw my face drop? No.
No?
Avi against Johnny Cake.
Okay.
I could see that energy. That's a burst of energy. The two of them would
I think
be
that's the stage might collapse.
exactly. Okay. Okay. In terms of females, I would put Nishi against Fan Sean.
Ooh.
You feel that, right?
Ooh.
Nishi against Fan
Ooh,
Sean.
that's a show.
That's a show.
That's a serious show.
All right. Wow, the crowd. You put those two powerhouses out there.
Mhm.
That's your verses. I'm looking at this flyer. Funky D against, I said Gino D. Avi against, who did I say?
Johnny Cake.
Johnny Cake. Bloody against, we have no, we've done nothing with Ancient Man as yet. Ancient Man. Does Ancient Man fit the verses? Who would you put
I don't-
Ancient Man against?
I want
Maybe
do think
Ira
we should-
Store?
Yeah, that would be a better fit.
Colin
Mm,
McDonald.
No.
No? Colin McDonald against maybe Ira Store? Could that work? Okay,
Yeah,
so
that could work. Colin versus Ira Star could work.
Warrior says when that lady came to the Bahamas and had Bahamians around the country dropping their verse on Just Vibe, I would pick some of them to compete against each other. Yes, that's something that could work, but they're up and coming. If you want a real versus match, it would have to be established artists who have a true discography, who have a catalog that they could sing song for song.
You know how that could work
With up and coming?
with the up and coming artists is as like an opening set.
Yes,
It would have
sure,
to be
sure.
like a pass the mic kind of style where listen, we ain't changing the song. It's this song,
And
and
you
all
work
us
it.
singing this song
You
together.
work it,
So
sure.
I have my first part, you have your part, you have your part.
So there's nobody to go up against Ancient Man. We don't have something similar that
No,
comes
because
to
Ancient
mind.
Man is so unique. I'm rocking my brain trying to figure out who could go up against
Ancient Man against
Man.
Stevie S.
Stevie S ain't on this concert.
I know, but if we had to, if we
He ain't on this
if we was
concert.
pussing,
No, I don't care. He ain't on this
Elon
concert.
Moxie, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
Woo!
Perfect.
That's it.
That's it right
That's
there.
it. Thank you so much. Oh my God. Thank you, Warrior of Wisdom. Where do we put my good Uncle Phil?
Mm.
Who can you put up against the great Phil Stubbs?
I wouldn't say against.
Well, versus.
I would say in concert with. I would put him with. Don't fight me on this, but I put him with Pat Rahman.
You want Pat get? Why are you doing that?
It's the storytelling.
Eddie Menace.
Storytelling.
Eddie Menace. Eddie Menace against Phil Stubbs. That's it.
Okay.
See, this thing go with sense. You got to think about the era. You got to think
Mhm.
about their style, and you got to think about the catalog. Nobody else but Eddie Menace.
Okay.
Eddie Menace. So you talk about storytelling.
Mhm.
Eddie Menace, Phil Stubbs. Now, to all the promoters out there, y'all don't bite my idea. All right. Alpha Sound, if you're listening, let's roll with this. I think this is a fantastic, fantastic way to invoke that real Bahamian pride and get the masses going, feeling the music.
Gives me
Song
the
for
feeling
song.
of a Best of the Best Part 2.
Yes, absolutely. Well, part 2 is coming in November. All right. Yes. Best of the Best. Rake and Scrape comes in November.
We heard it here first.
Yeah. So listen out for that. All right. But what about who? Fimba? Who's Fimba?
Fimbo.
Is that a typo? Because that name does
Fimba.
not
You talking about
ring a bell.
you talking about I think they maybe meaning shine.
Shine.
Because that was his first song.
It was?
Yeah, it was like something timber got me rolling like timber.
Oh.
Is
Oh.
that what you mean? You mean shine?
Oh, mind your funky business. No, that's not us.
not
That's
Bahamian.
Trini. That's Trini. Future Fambo. That's Trini.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's not us, honey. But thanks so much. But listen, guys.
Pause. Future Fambo is Fimbo?
Oh, I don't know. He said, what about Fimba? And then the next line, mind your funky business. I guess he was drawing a
Oh.
reference to the song,
Yeah,
if
no,
that's
he's
that
not
artist's
Bahamian.
song. All right, so our first verses, I'm putting it out in the atmosphere. I think it would be a wonderful, wonderful way to celebrate. You don't think so?
We forgot someone at the concert. He's not technically Bahamian, but I think he deserves. He counts.
But
Benji, La Bam Bam.
against who?
Hmm,
He would have to stay with Visage and let Visage win.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I can't
Yeah.
think. Who would you put? Would you put him against who? Dyson? That's the only person I could think of.
I think you would have to go inside that so-called.
That's why I said Dyson.
Yeah, kind of category, which Wendy would be in.
But Wendy's going
But
up
Wendy
against
going against Patrice.
Patrice. Right.
Mm,
So it would have to be Dyson against Benji. If you're gonna put Benji outside of Visage,
okay.
it would
okay.
have to be Dyson.
Would it be fair if he goes twice? Once with Visage and once as a single.
Why we don't
artist?
put Rick Carey there? We didn't.
That's
do
a good point. Because Rick could go with Bahaman or as himself.
right.
That's a good one. And Dyson could go as
See, so you see the
Dyson.
theories. The series
Yeah.
can be very long lasting.
Yeah.
I love this. I love it. All right. So think about it. I'm going to put it out in the atmosphere and see if I could turn some wheels. I think it would be an absolutely fabulous series. Versus 242 style. All right. Folks, top of the hour. We'll you know what? We'll try it in the next hour, song for song. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. All right. So stay tuned for it. You know what it is? It's Free Your Mind right here on your hit station. We're Star 106 Hit. Stay tuned.
Everybody all right, chicken we are free, walking for the crew, share a bucket together. Everybody go loud, crispy original, but we online. Walking together.
Or if not, just let Nita get someone to pull them. That's just a couple things. That's, I think, is
Yeah.
a great idea.